Hello guys, welcome to this new video. So basically this video gonna replace the previous one I do over the Turbodrive Mark 6 because I gonna explain a better way for run cartridges. So I prefer remove the old video so there's no confusion. Okay, Turbodrive Mark 6, so 6th generation of my hybrid Rotary. The system is based on the famous Dan Kubin Sidewinder. So this system born basically as a Powerliner for a regular needle. I'm gonna explain about regular needle setup and also cartridges setup. So I'm back to using the 12-volt motor, but the small version. So the machine is quite compact. Look on my hand. It's the main frame and the armature bar brass material, so it's good to absorb vibration and stabilize the with a little bit of weight for outline. And the motor cover is aluminium. Clipcord and RCA connection. The RCA is angle a little bit, so if you wanna run with the battery pack, it's gonna be very comfortable, especially with the plastic disposable tube, because the weight, it push a little bit the weight on front, so over your hand, and is really good balance. Okay, is adjustable stroke, maximum like 4.4 millimeter stroke. You can see from here how to adjust with this wheel, the stroke wheel. You don't need any tools, you just move by your finger. It's a little bit hard but not too much. If you can see here on the side, there is a small hole. Inside I have a small screw. Do not touch the screw. The screw just hold the mechanism pretty much. So you just move with your finger, clockwise or anti-clockwise is the same. You can see there is a mark on the wheel and also on the frame. When you get the machine out of the box, it's set up at the maximum stroke, and you can see here basically the flat spring touch the right part of the last part of the wheel. If you move, you can see, watch the mark, you see it's moving. There is another mark after exactly half turn. The other mark, it means, if you can see here, now the flat spring touch the higher part of the stroke wheel, so it decrease the stroke. If you so half turn, you go on the minimum stroke, probably is around 3 millimeter, and then if you go half turn again clockwise, anti-clock is the same with the mark, you go back on the maximum stroke. So if you like to stay in between, just turn half a little bit when you see the mark on this way, because you can keep turn and you go back again, maximum stroke, minimum stroke, that's it. It's like infinity turn. Okay, anyway, you get straight out the box set up on maximum stroke. Actually, there is a hitting screw here and one on the side just to hold it. The hitting screw punch the bar on the frame, but when I set up the machine, I always let this two O-ring hit in first. These two O-ring are a little bit harder material compared to regular O-ring. Is not nitrile O-ring, is another material, so it's already punchy. If you like the sharpest hit possible, instead of touch here the screw, you just pull out the two O-ring. Okay, you see, there is two ring carved. It's just to pull It's just to hold the O-ring. You pull out like this, and that's it. After, if you want, you put it back. Okay. Opposite, if you want the machine sound a little less noise, you just unscrew little bit the heating screw. You release the side one, let's say half or one, completely turn clockwise, then lock back again, so the machine gonna only hit on the two O-ring. It's still very punchy. I actually prefer if only hit on the two O-ring, and because how the way I tattooing, for me is okay, the O-ring, and is a less noise pretty much. Let's go on the setup with the regular needle. Okay, regular needle. One important things, the bar. Normally you set up a needle in this way. The needle bar is on top of the needle group, okay, and then you bend the bar and everything. In this type of machine, hybrid rotary, is better to flip the bar so the needle group stay on top of the needle bar, okay, and then you bend the needle a bit down, okay, see, down, then keep the bar straight, and then the part with the loop, just you put the thumb behind and bend down again. So you pretty much have bend, straight bar, bend down again. That's it. On the you're gonna get this instruction paper. I changed a little bit, and you can see here how to bend the needle, and the manual is still bent in the regular way pretty much, but keep the bar straight. You just bend the part with the loop and the needle. Okay, second things, you need to open the loop, because you don't need to have a lot of friction with the needle bar and the grommets. Okay, how to open this? If you can see, this part I made new with my letter NIM, no iron machine, for lock the tube. There is on top of this, there is a small part, you can see here, let's call it this a crown, and this is a tool for open the loop. Basically you just insert on one part, okay, and then with your thumb you push down. You're gonna hear a kind of a click, you see, huh? Tuck. Then you are completely inside, then you turn halfway, and this enlarge the loop, okay. Yeah, you see, maybe do one more time to be sure. That's it. Now the loop is larger. Anyway, everything is explained here, the passage and everything. You can see the different. You get some of my crystal grommets with the machine. That very important to use this because it's hard material. And then if you don't want to buy my grommets, just find another brand that are hard. Don't use a soft silicone grommet, because they're gonna snap and they're gonna damage the material here of the bar. Okay, if you don't find any hard grommet, like example, a good one is the one made for Dankubin made, you can use, very good. If you don't find anyone, just use the paper, like old school one. No, you cut a piece like this. You have to find out how many times you bend, because depending how thick is your paper towel you use, maybe sometimes you have to bend 2 times or 3. That's good. The paper is good because it never snap and it's cheap and everybody have. So please, it's very important, do not use soft cheap grommet. If you don't find a hard one, just use the paper. That's it. Another important things, especially for the people using plastic disposable tube, because this they're not solid like the steel one, of course, and they create more vibration. And use a round tip, because the diamond tip is larger, so there's a larger hole. Of course, it grab more ink, but it also release more ink and then can spit ink. That's the point. So use round tip liner. Okay, let's go set up the regular needle. You get some rubber band also. This one, the flat one, it's my rubber band. That's a very perfect size and tension for those type of machine. It's pretty much, since the tube are standard size, normally it's between 108 and 110 millimeter. So 108 and 110 millimeter. When you set up the tube, it's pretty much on the same level of the frame, okay? Then you put the rubber band in this way. You go here on front frame. You have two parts. You can see that coming a few millimeters outside the main frame. That is where the rubber band stay on top. You see, they stay on top to make a space of the movement and never touch the tube and never be cut. Then you go on the back, flip half, okay, flip half and connect on the top one. Then adjust here to be sure it's on top of the two things, the two frame part, and adjust the tube. That's it. Lock. When I assembled those machines, I all set up with my lab power supply, 6.2 volts, okay? And sometime with the critical or the Acorn or the regular power supply for tattoo, maybe because they're not very I mean, those kind of old school power supply, what you see here is 100% true. It can have like a few tolerance, but very small. Those type of power supply, they have way more tolerance. So if you see 6.2 volts, sometimes is accurate, most of the time no. So it's not really 6.2 volt. Can be less or can be even more, depending. But anyway, I use the lab to tuning 6.2 volts. You see? Since it's a 12 volt motor and now we run at 6.2, it's quite slow, but it's really punchy already. So it can be also good without touching the stroke wheel to stipple shading with the maybe 5 liner, 3 liner at this speed. Could be very good for this kind of shading. Normally I recommended to use between 6 and 7.5 volt. You're gonna probably line power line like 14, 18 round liner with a 7 volt. Is really strong. I mean, it's really strong, and you have a huge stroke, 4.4 millimeter, so pretty good. One thing, when you connect your clip cord, the positive, like the red one, down, you can see there is a red washer. So connecting in this way make the motor spin clockwise, and is the best performance for those type of system. Of course, when you use the RCA is already polarized in the correct way, and also the battery things. If you use the battery things, you can let the jump start on, no problem, because like I say, the 12 volt motor, so don't have any problem with the jump start. let's go on the cartridges. So the different right now, what I find out, I mean, I know already before, but let me explain. You see this hook, kind of a hook of the frame, I made for connect one smaller ring that hold the bar down. So yeah, like this was my previous advice to run cartridges, because you need to contrast a bit the resistance of the membrane inside, okay, because it's like a spring. So this machine, there's already a spring that help to push up the bar. So you have one spring plus one more spring. Also in this size the motor is not that big, okay, but so you need something to help push down the bar for the resistance here of the membrane. The ring is good. What is the problem? Never mind what type of material and size you use, the ring is not extremely elastic, and here is very important to have something elastic, because the membrane is elastic. So it's better use the simple rubber band. I show you how. Push bar, okay, 90 millimeter. Normally is the medium one. When you buy a grip, you get 2 or 3 of this bar. Is the medium one, 90 millimeter. You need to open the loop, okay, the same like before. You go inside, turn a few times just to be sure it's correctly open. This time don't bend the bar, just leave it straight. Again, my hard grommet, the crystal grommet. If you don't want to use mine, buy the cubing one or buy some strong one, but never use a soft one. Paper is your go if you don't want to buy grommets. That's always good. Then when you run, when you set up for the cartridge, I suggest to screw on all the tube, okay, if you have an adjustable one. So go all up, then you insert, then you go, you let the needle come out like little, like half millimeter, then lock, okay, and then you adjust the grip to going up again, so the needle little bit go inside the cartridges, okay, so you sure is protected, okay, when you also go and to grab the ink, you never gonna touch the needle somewhere. It's protected inside the cartridges. Okay, now rubber band. You can see here on the bar, after the two, between the two ring and the grommet, there is another ring carved on the bar that was supposed to hold in position the O-ring. Well, now gonna hold the rubber band. So you just put the rubber band like this. Very simple. Okay, then this time you don't turn halfway, and then you just connect it here. You see? That's it. Voila, very simple. Anyway, it's all described here. Can't go wrong. Yeah, so this way, since the rubber band is very elastic, this is the best way to run cartridges, pretty much. And it's really the same, it runs the same as a regular needle. So you're really gonna push line almost like a coil machine with this, with the cartridges. And I suggest to don't touch the adjustable stroke. Of course, if you wanna run a very fine line, you reduce also the stroke here for the cartridges. That's pretty much. So it's the best way, absolutely. In case the cartridges you run, there's a very high tension, because they have, like example, the original Cheyenne is a very hard tension. I don't recommend that to use this. Is wrong. Too much tension, don't really need. Like example, this is the Quadron, is way lowest the resistance. Also this one is that soul, also is good, not so strong. Okay, so but in case you're gonna use some hard tension cartridges, and also after few tattoo the rubber band get lost the elasticity. Okay, I'm not sure it's say elasticity in English, but whatever, it get large. So you're gonna connect on this way. You remove from there, stay inside, and go on the top one. So you stretch more, you pull more and stretch more the rubber band, create more tension. That's it. So you're gonna still use for a few more tattoo the rubber band. After 4 or 5 tattoo, for sure you have to use a new one. But like, is one rubber band, I mean, is nothing. Is cheap. Pretty much we cover everything, so you can run with the battery, power supply, anything you want. One more important thing that I explain here, and you can see here, warning. What is this warning? This warning is very simple. It could happen that when you stop the machine, it got, never mind you run cartridges or regular needle, it could stop in this way. Let me show you. Wait, okay. So with the Eccentric, all against the flat spring, and basically the armature bar stop down. Okay, is like a stall. When this happen, sometime, let's try now. But now, okay, let's put back the rubber band. Just I wanted to show you something. Maybe now if I try to run, it could don't start the machine. No, okay, now it runs. Sometimes it doesn't start, so you don't force the machine to start. Okay, so when this happen and the machine stick like this, just with the thumb you pull up the eccentric, so the machine lost the turn and go up again and is free to move. That's it. It's very important, because if it stick down and you insist to run the machine, don't run, you're gonna blow up the motor pretty much. That's it. You're gonna get a bag with some rubber band, my grommet, the hexagon key if you want to adjust the heating screw, and you're gonna get an extra flat spring. Basically this flat spring and this is exactly the same, but here I have two, one on top in the other, so this could never broke. In case broke this one, because this is a single, you have an extra one here. That's it. So pretty much I explain everything, and the difference with the video before is the way to run the cartridges is way better with the simple rubber band. That's it. If you have any question, you just comment here in down the video. Thank you guys.